Let's get started here. So welcome everyone. For those of you who are joining for the first time, the way this works is there's a Q&A button on the bottom of the screen. And if you have a question asked, just go ahead and submit that there. And I will answer them in the order they come in as best as I can. So I have a question that I'll start with from Gay, and this question is about courses and products. I would like to make a course more experiential by building in rewards for actions such as a GIF or GIF, however you pronounce it, with a sound that pops up when they tick to say they have completed a task or module. Are there any WordPress plugins for this that will integrate with MemberMouse? Well, so the first thing is that really it's not necessarily a question of if that plugin integrates with MemberMouse, because MemberMouse doesn't have course functionality built into it anyway, right? So you're talking about having progress go through a course. So if you want to track progress, that's separate functionality for MemberMouse anyway. Unless you do it, you can do it in certain ways, but really, like a lot of people are doing this, are using course plugins that integrate with MemberMouse that allow you specifically to create courses, add lessons to that course, track progress, have quizzes, stuff like this, right? So that's one part about it. Not necessarily directly related to your question, but I just want to have that clarification. So really what you're asking about is, I think it's called gamification. You know, people often, if they're talking about this, like how do I do badges and stuff like that, usually called gamification. So if you're going to do a Google search for a WordPress plugin, you would use that keyword, or you can maybe just type in badges, gamification, whatever. But personally, I'm not familiar with any WordPress plugins that do this. So you're going to have to do a search, you know, and whether or not they integrate with MemberMouse, or if you're using another plugin for courses, that's the question that remains to be seen. You kind of know the answer by trying it out or by experimenting yourself. Hey, Matt, if you have questions, just submit them to the Q&A thing. You can do them all at once. You don't have to wait. Okay. So this next question is from Rena. On the checkout page, can this line, and then she puts in some HTML code, be customized to show something different, additional text for one of my products? Okay, so basically, Rena, you're asking about, or should I say, essentially, you are asking about, let me just share my screen here. You are asking about the product price description smart tag, and this, let me just paste this in to a place where people can see. So this is what she's saying. Can she change what shows up on the checkout page based on this? So first, I'll go to the checkout page so that people can find this to show you how you can find this in your own site, so that we are knowing what we're talking about. So if you filter your pages by showing core pages only, you want to look out for the checkout core page. So go here, checkout. And now when I'm on this page, I can search for, I did command find on my keyboard to do a find on the page, and then paste in that product price description. So that shows me, okay, it's right here. So membership price, product price description. So I'm also going to demonstrate here how you can get answers to this question, you know, on your own, just so you know. You're always welcome to ask support or myself, but so that you can learn to fish, I'll type it in here. So we're basically, so if you want to understand any of the smart tag smart tags, you can just look at, okay, so this is the form data smart tag. So if I go to our support site, support.membermouse.com, type in form data. So we can see here all of the things about the attributes of that tag. And you're specifically asking about product price description. So what the documentation says is that it outputs a detailed description of the billing associated with the product being purchased. For example, a 14-day free trial, $10 a month, $197, 2 payments of $19.95, etc. So if there were a way, so basically this product price description that that is output by this particular attribute is dynamically generated by MemberMouse based on the product configuration. So it generates this text that automatically just how you have configured that product, what the recurring aspects are, if there's any free trial, etc. So you cannot change that because it's just generated automatically by MemberMouse. But what you can do, so you see that there's also this product description attribute. So you can use this to be able to output anything you like about the product. So if we go back to our page in WordPress, checkout page, and I search for that, I see that the product, that smart tag is being output here. form data name equals product description. And so if I go to visit the checkout page itself, demo.membermouse.com, and I go to make a purchase, so I want to get to my checkout page so I can see what's happening. So we can see here, this is the product description. This is the basic plan, which gives you access to our monthly membership for only $29 a month, right? And the product price description that you're talking about is here, the one that's generated automatically, right? So what you can do is, this area is completely customizable by you. So if you didn't want to show the dynamically generated one, then what I would recommend doing is you would just remove, I need to edit this as HTML. Just remove the product price description thing, because we're not going to use that because it gets generated automatically and you want to be more specific. And then, so now if we go back to the checkout page, just so I can show you as we go along here. I'm going to pick a different product, hold on. Okay, so now we see that product price description is not there anymore. I removed it from the content of the page. So, but I still want to display it to people, right? So what I'll do is now go to the product itself. And the product is the basic plan. So click edit, and we scroll down here, and in the description field you see that this is exactly what's being output. All right, so I know personally that this is a 15-day trial and it recurs every month. So I can say, and it's $29. So I can export this however I want, and you can put HTML in here. So you can use HTML text and just say 15-day sign up free for 15 days. Then $29 every month, cancel anytime, whatever you want to say. Okay, so I'm just demonstrating that you can do whatever you want here. And then I'll go and save this. And then if I go back to the checkout page and refresh it, you can see now I have that additional information added. And since you can do any custom HTML, CSS here, you can obviously style it, make it look any way you want. Okay, so this is how I would go about getting custom output on the checkout page that's product specific. Where is everything? Okay, so I hid my floating windows in I hid my floating windows in Zoom with the controls because they were in my way. Okay, show them. Okay, there we go. Stop sharing. Okay, so that's done. This question is from Bob. So for our organization, segmenting our members by geography, for example, city chapters, profession, interest, membership type, etc., is essential. We need this especially so that we can tailor our communications and events. Does MemberMouse support this type of segmentation, and do you have functionality to manage an email newsletter and/or events tailored for specific segments of our members? Okay, so ultimately it sounds like you're asking about, you want to be able, this is about communication. You want to be able to communicate with people specifically relating to different pieces of information that you track on a member basis. Yes, you can do this. It's going to be in MemberMouse in conjunction with an email service provider, because ultimately MemberMouse doesn't serve as a system that's going to be sending out the emails. That's going to be somebody like MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, GetResponse, whatever. But the way MemberMouse will assist is that it will send custom field data to the email service provider, such that you can use that data in order to segment your list on the email service side. There's a couple ways. I have to, I have to actually check. It might be email service provider specific, meaning it might differ between MailChimp and GetResponse and ActiveCampaign. The one that, so on custom fields, like if you set up custom fields in MemberMouse, my memory, you might want to ask support about this because my memory is hazy on if we actually send custom field data to MailChimp along with the account. I'm not sure on that, but we definitely send the bundles that are active or inactive. Yeah, and Matt just shared a blog post that talks about segmentation. Let me just open that up real quick. So you can find this on our blog. Some basics and then a concrete example. And then, okay, there's a section on how to do it. Yeah, but so this article is helpful in understanding segmentation. It doesn't necessarily get into the tie between MemberMouse and the email service provider, which is ultimately the part. This will show you how you can set up custom fields, track different information on members, but ultimately that's the part that I'm not clear on in my memory. If we send that custom field data to the payment service provider, with the at the risk of spending too much time on this, I'm going to take a look at the code real quick and see if it'll tell me, jog my memory on how this is done. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen for this. But ultimately, if you do it with bundles, like basically if you have bundles that indicate what somebody has or what chapter they're in or something, you could use a free bundle so they don't have to pay for it. then that data will be sent on to the email service provider, and as a result, then you can segment the mailings on the other side based on what bundles are applied to an account. All right, so I'm looking at this service, MailChimp service here. Find the function where it sends the data to a member. Okay, add member to list, add required. Yeah, so I think we're only sending bundles. So yeah, we're not sending custom field information. So you know, it's not like a slam dunk, you know. It's not like, oh yes, emphatically, this was intended, planned for having this done. The ideal would be is you can have custom field information sent, and then, you know, that would be really straightforward. You could segment based on that. Segmentation is possible based on bundles, but if you're not currently using MemberMouse and like if you're already using it, then that's a great solution. If you're not using MemberMouse and this is basically like your primary strategy, there might be a better solution for you. I don't know what it is, but that's my response to that. This is from David. I used to use bundles only for one-time payment courses and have this free membership because, as far as I remember, it's required to have at least one membership within MemberMouse in order for it to work. Recently, I started a paid membership. One of my students who purchased 2 bundles a few months back joined the membership. However, he was moved from the free membership to the new one. Yes. When he logs in and lands on the new member homepage, but actually lost access to his previous content. Any ideas to get around this? Hope I explained myself properly. That doesn't sound right. So when you say this isn't something you're going to be able to answer with me live now, but you know, the distinction is like if literally they just bought the paid membership, there's no functionality in MemberMouse that would remove their access from the other bundles that they had access to. The only way that they would lose access to something is if you had used the free membership level to give access to content, right? So naturally, if they're on a free membership level, right? And if that membership level is granting them access to particular content, if they buy another membership level and switch to a different membership level, they're going to lose access to whatever the other membership level is giving them access to, right? That's the only possible way that they've lost access to something. So there's 2 solutions to that. One is simply you give the paid membership level the same access rights that the free membership level has, which you can easily do by going to the product settings, drip content schedule, and you can copy one schedule to another. So you can say, okay, I want the premium membership to get access to the same stuff as the basic membership. In your case, you would select the free membership over here. Well, I'll just do that. Select the free membership and give the same access to the basic membership. And you can just copy the schedule. And the result of this will be that now all of the access rights for the free membership level will be also on the basic membership. The other way is, which is more of like a logical process of what should actually be granting access to content. The free membership level really, I wouldn't ever use a free membership level to grant access to content unless of course it's just promotional content. Like it's literally just always going to be free content, you know? So you might have to revisit how you're protecting your content, which vehicle you're using to protect different content. And you can definitely test this out for yourself. You know, just set up an account with a free membership, add the 2 bundles to that account from the member that you're, the same setup as the member you're talking about, and then buy the paid membership level, right? You will experience that the 2 bundles are still there. So if the person is losing access, it's only because the free membership level was granting them access to some content. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, definitely you're going to be asking a more specific question for your situation, in which case the support team is going to be the best one to help at that stage, because then they can actually log into your account and see the specifics of the situation. Follow-up question, is there any plans for MemberMouse to integrate with ConvertKit? I know there's a plugin, but it just won't do the whole job. I'd like to have members tagged accordingly when they join specific bundles. We don't currently have plans to do that, but what we do have plans to do, which essentially I think will result in there being a more robust ConvertKit plugin and really more robust plugins for all sorts of third-party systems. What we do plan to do is we are going to be releasing a more sophisticated developer tool set, so more sophisticated API, with the whole intention that we want to empower developers to be able to build their own integrations with MemberMouse itself. So when that happens, which will probably happen next year, so when that happens, people will be able to build more sophisticated integrations with us because we'll provide them with better tools. And that's going to be our intention too. Like going forward, future looking, we don't want to be managing integrations with third parties, because we want to focus on the core things of the membership product that only we can do. And then as far as integrations with email service providers, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, payment methods we'll probably still maintain in-house, but that one could go either way, because people do want to integrate with payment methods that we don't necessarily want to build integrations for. Point is, we're going to be empowering developers more to build these integrations and develop a place where these plugins and things can be shared. Similar way in the way that WordPress itself works, right? So WordPress as an organization focuses on the core, and then there's all these different plugins that are built for it. That's what we're going for. So at that time, there will likely end up being a better ConvertKit thing. Follow-up question from Bob. Can you demonstrate the member attribute features briefly? When you say I guess you're talking about custom fields, like how to create custom fields for a member. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if that's the case, basically you just go to checkout settings, and here are custom fields. So if I wanted to say track how somebody heard about us or whatever, so I can create a custom field. The name would be how you found us. You can make it a short text field that tells what kind of field will be displayed when somebody wants to do this. And then you can also do, like, say, a radio buttons, what's your favorite color, whatever. You know, this. And then you can add your different options down here. Okay, so now that we've done that, you can add these. You can either create a custom form that stands alone in itself to collect this data, which there's a support article on. Matt, if you can look that up and paste it in the chat. And also, you'll notice when you create these custom fields, you can indicate whether it gets shown on the My Account page. if you check yes to show on the My Account page, the customer will be able to go to their My Account page and be able to edit the information there. You can also copy this form smart tag and just include it on a checkout form. So if you want to collect this data at time of checkout, you can use these smart tags to insert them onto the checkout page. Okay. Let's see, we have so somebody asked about unmuting your mic, but it says anonymous attendee, so I don't know who you are to unmute it. Is it, type in your name in the chat so I know who you are. David. Okay. Hey, David.
Hey there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Eric. So this is the thing. Maybe I set it up wrong from the start, but when I first installed MemberMouse, I didn't have any paid memberships or any membership at all. I just wanted to have a plugin to protect my content, and I had these two courses, one-time payment courses. So I watched the tutorials and all that, and as far as I'm concerned, you have to have at least one membership in order for the plugin to work. Is that right?
Every account needs to have a membership associated with it, yes. But you don't need to do anything with that membership. You don't need to do anything with it.
So if I want to sell my one-time payment courses, I don't even know how to phrase the question. English is not my first language, but
well, bundles. You said you use bundles, right?
Yes, bundles.
That would be the way to do it, because, and this is the reason why the default free membership level exists, because if the first thing that a customer buys is a bundle, it needs to know what membership level to assign to the account. So it uses the default membership level.
Yes.
But I understand it's a little confusing, okay? But if you have your courses set up on bundles, the bundles are then the things that protect the content, right? The free membership level, you don't even need to think about it. The fact that is part of the mechanics, but you don't need to do anything with it. You don't need to protect any content with it or anything. So let me just go into some, make this concrete, right? So you have a bundle, right? Let's just say the special offer represents one of your courses. So I'm going to go ahead and get the link for this so I can buy it. Okay, but if I edit this first, you see there's a default membership associated with the bundle because you need a membership on the account. The membership is what gives you your login, your user, the fact that you have an account you can log into and cancel, etc. So you can say use the system default, which is just going to be the default free membership. All right, so just keep it for that. So I'm going to go and buy this bundle. So I'll sign up. Sign up. Okay, so now I bought that bundle. So now if I go back into Manage Members, I see that an account was added with the special bundle, special offer bundle, and you'll see that I was also set up with a free membership level. But I don't need to think about this because I'm not protecting any content with this membership level. The content that is delivered for this bundle is protected by the bundle. Meaning, right, if I go, protecting content essentially means if I go and create a page or a post.
Yeah, actually, that is working beautifully for me. Okay. That's how it's set up. The thing is, I launched the paid membership after, like a week ago or a couple of weeks ago, but it's a paid one, and they did sign up for it.
Right.
So when they bought this new membership, he was switched from the free membership to which the two bundles were assigned, and he was transferred to the new paid
Oh, I see.
membership.
So
Yeah.
when you say the free bundles were assigned, what do you mean by that? Like, did
Like-
you do that, like you set it up such that the free membership level, like did you actually come into the free membership level and say that this bundle is associated with it?
Yes, I think so, yes.
Okay, well that's where you went wrong.
Okay.
And also I'm not even sure how that works for you, because yeah, you don't need to do that. Okay, so first of all, remove like I'm not even sure how that would work. Like when people buy, let me just see how it works. Okay, so I have that applied to, so I'm signing up. So yeah, so then how do they even pay you? Because if they're signing up for the free, because what you're saying by doing this, if you did it this way, is that when they get the free membership level, they automatically get access to whatever is associated with this course. But in which case, what are they're not paying you for they're not paying you for that access, because you're just essentially giving it to them for free through the configuration. So
No,
yeah.
no, I'm sorry, no. That bundle is not, those bundles are not associated with the
Okay.
free membership. However, if I click on bundles and then...
Why don't you share your screen with me?
Because I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay, okay.
And let me see.
That's fine. Just
Bundle tab, okay. I'm going into one of my bundles and okay, we've got name, status, then bundle type. Bundle type is a paid bundle. And then
right.
There's this line that says default membership. And then
Right.
there on that drop down menu, I have the free membership.
Yeah. But that's, yeah, okay. But that's really has no relevance on the situation is what I'm saying. Like that you have yeah. So.
Yeah, but when you assign a member home, that's on a membership basis,
Right.
yes?
Right.
So these guys who used to, this guy who used to log in for his courses would land on the member home for the default
right.
membership, which was the free one.
Right.
And he paid for the courses and he had access to those bundles. So he then signs up for this paid membership, but the member home changes.
Right. So you need to, you are in 100% control over what content gets shown on the homepage. So if you want them to see the same thing on the paid member homepage that they do on the free one, you need to literally copy that content to the other page. Because the reason that they're not seeing that doesn't mean that they don't have access. You can see what access people has by going to the manage member screen. And if you see for their account that they have the bundles here, that means they have access. The fact that they're not seeing the links on the paid member homepage is just because you haven't set it up yet. So literally all you need to do is copy your content from your free member homepage to your paid member homepage. So you do that through pages, right? You go into the page and copy it, copy the content and paste it onto your other page. Or just have the same
conditional text. So
no, you don't need conditional text. Or just have, if the free members are seeing the same exact content as the paid members, then there only needs to be one page to make things simple. Right.
So there are actually no free members. I have no free members. When I say
what I mean when I say that is that they're on the free membership level. Because your issue right now is not one of access. Your issue is simply that, if I'm understanding the situation right, your issue is simply that you don't have the content set up on the paid members homepage that you do on the free members homepage. And when I say free members, I'm just saying
it's a completely different thing. That's why I wanted it to be
Okay,
a
well,
separate member home.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that there's a, what your situation sounds simple, but I think that there is a communication barrier, just terminology.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do would be to email support. They're going to be able to log in and provide them with your username and password. They're going to be able to log in
Okay.
your account and
Right.
exactly show you what needs to be done. Because you can confirm right now for yourself that it's not an issue that the person doesn't have access. Just go to the manage members screen, find the account, and you'll see that they have those two bundles. They're on the paid membership and they have those two bundles. So that tells you their access. If that's fine, if that looks okay, then really it's a really simple thing to address, and it has to do with making sure your member homepages have the appropriate content on them.
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
I'll do that. Thank you, Eric.
Yep, you're welcome. Okay. Gainer, yes, I did answer your question about gamification already. You can watch the replay to get the full answer, but essentially I said, I don't know of any plugins, but whatever you choose is gonna need to not only, it depends on how you've implemented your course structure. If you've used MemberMouse alone or if you've used a course plugin. And then the gamification thing is just going to need to integrate with whatever one you've used. It's going to be kind of like a jigsaw puzzle you're going to have to put together. But I personally have any knowledge of plugins that people use for that. But you can just Google gamification WordPress plugin. I'm sure like a bunch will pop up. And then that would be the starting point. Matt is saying he's heard of a plugin called Badge OS. So I've also heard of that. I don't, just because I've heard of it doesn't mean anything. It's not a recommendation, but that's one that exists. So you can look at that one. Okay, so we're over time here, but there are these 3 questions. I'm just going to look through these and see if there's something. Okay, I think I can answer these pretty quick. So one question is from Kevin about removing a password in the checkout form as you don't need that section. Yes, you can remove the password, and you can remove other fields too. So I'll just show you the support article if I can find it. Support.membermouse.com. Hide fields on checkout. Hide optional fields on the checkout page. So yeah, so these are all the fields that you can optionally hide on the checkout page. Password is one of them. So you just add this attribute to the smart tag for the one that you don't want. Is required equals false, that's it, and then it'll stop showing up. In regards to the password field, you just know that, of course, if you do this, the password is going to be automatically generated for the person, and for security reasons, we don't store any passwords in the database. MemberMouse is built on top of the WordPress user system. So WordPress handles all the authentication, all the encryption of passwords. So if the user doesn't create their password, then they don't know what it is. There's only one opportunity that we have to send a clear text password to the customer, and that's in a welcome email. If you use the smart tag, the password smart tag in a welcome email, it will send that password to the member so they know what it is. Two problems with this. One, this is a security issue, right? Because now in their email address, it has their password, plain text, so that if anybody gets access to their email, they know what the password is. The second problem is this only works 90% of the time, or I don't know what the percentage is, but it only works some of the time. And this is in the situation because we don't have control over it, right? The password is only readable in a programmatic sense for a brief period of time. And we attempt to send it, but certain other things can interfere with that flow, other plugins, other themes, whatever, things outside of our control. So this doesn't always work. So you want to think hard about if you actually want to remove the password field from the checkout page. You know, the thinking sometimes I know people have is, oh, well, if I remove the field, it's one less thing for people to fill out, and then they'll more likely convert. But in actuality of experience, I'm not sure if this is the reason why you're thinking about it, but in actuality of experience, it's more of a pain for the customer not to know what their password is and to try and figure, you know, to be sent it in an email and then save it later than to just set it up themselves and have the option to set it up themselves, because maybe they have a password they like to use. And now if you automatically create a password for themselves, now they need to go through the step of changing their password across the board. So anyway, you have everything laid out in front of you. You can make the decision, but that's just some different angles to look at. What else? I have both, this is from Daria, I have both a 6-month membership that expires and a one-time bundle and one-time bundles. How do people keep their account active after 6 months so they have access to their bundles? Don't have an expire, don't make the membership level expire is how you, so sorry that the answer is so simple. But yeah, you can't, if you expire their membership, the first question is, what do you really want to expire, right? In this case, since people are doing things through bundles, you definitely don't want the membership level to expire because that's the top level access. That's their account level access. So if you expire that, then because the bundles are sub-level access, it's going to trickle down and they're going to lose whatever to that as you've experienced. So the solution is don't expire the membership level. But then the question is, do you need to expire anything? Why is there an expiry at all? If the bundles are paid, right, then what's the reason for the expiration? If one of the bundles content should expire, then the expiry settings should be on the bundle itself so that it's limited to the bundle and not to the account level. Okay. We've been MemberMouse for almost 5 years. So we have MemberMouse set up on our site using an older non-responsive theme. How could we move our site to the Divi pack or just to Divi Themes without breaking our site? You wish that there was an easy answer to that question. And I wish there was an easy answer to that question as well, that there was a button you could push and magically, it's like saying, I've been living in this old house and it has all these problems. I want to move to a new house. Can that magically happen? The answer is no. It's going to be a process. So what I would recommend is you're going to have to get a staging site involved. We give you free staging licenses so that you can have a license and activate MemberMouse on a different site, you know, like a staging site that's not live, accepting live payments, whatever. So what you're going to want to do is get your staging site set up with a new theme, because as soon as you set up the new theme, yeah, of course, from a MemberMouse perspective, there could be conflicts between that theme and MemberMouse, but if you're using Divi, that's not going to be, we know that that's not an issue because people use Divi with MemberMouse. So that's out of the way. But, you know, you're going to have to reset up all your pages. You're going to have to put different HTML, CSS content on for all of your content so it works with the new theme. You're going to have to touch pretty much every piece of content and switch it over so it seamlessly looks correct with the new theme. You're going to have to go through all the MemberMouse core pages and make sure everything looks correct with the new theme. But yeah, if you're using the Divi pack, then that's fine. But you're going to have to, it's a process, right? There's no way to avoid that. But do it on a staging site and get everything correct on the staging site so that you're not messing with your live business. That's basically the way you do it. Do it as quickly as you want. If you'd rather not do it yourself, you can hire one of our implementation partners, which you can find on our support site. And I think for a project like this, which isn't just like, I would say MemberFix and Matt Minton, these guys do well with projects like this, so you could contact them and see if Gainer's asking how to set up a staging site. It's the same way you set up your production site. It's no different. It's the same way you set up your current site. It's just another type of site. So you basically get a server somewhere, you install WordPress, you install MemberMouse. The only difference is that a staging license, the only difference is from our perspective, why we call it a staging site, is the intention. That it's not intended to be public, it's intended for development prior to launch. So a lot of larger sites, the common setup is they have a staging site where they do all their development, ongoing development, and when everything's ready to go live, they push staging to production. So that's the workflow. The other difference in a staging license is that no live billing is possible. So any transactions or subscriptions that are set up on a staging site don't get put into the queue on our billing server so that no accidental billing can happen on a staging site. Okay, so that's all the time that we have for today. So thanks everyone for joining, and hope you have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye.